The battle may be over, but the arguments are not. Welcome back to the wrap-up show for Who Would Win Masters. Today we're breaking down the aftermath of our latest battle, a fight between Stealth and Sand, Beetles and Drones, Splinter Cells and Ancient Curses. We're going to open the vote totals, dive into your takes, and pull straight from the comments on Discord and elsewhere and see what you really thought on how this fight really played out. I am Sam Proof on all the socials. Last week we asked you on who would win, Sam Fisher versus Imhotep the Mummy, and the decision did not end with the episode. As always, it carries on to our community on Patreon, where we had a poll, and a lot of you had a lot to say. It was pretty awesome. So we're going to get right into it. But first, just to remind everyone, our guest for that episode was Cam Sully, representing Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell, and always our battle master for this episode, representing Imhotep the Mummy, a man who once tried to curse the barista at Starbucks who insisted he call it a venti and not a large. It's Ray Staccatus. Ray, how are you doing tonight?
Sam, I told you that in confidence. I don't like you telling my business to everybody out there.
Actually, you told me that at Coffee Bean, so it's different.
Yeah, because we don't go to Starbucks anymore because I'm banned, just like at Burger King. It's really not fair. You think about it.
No,
I'm doing good. Cam Sully, we're going to be hearing from Cam Sully a little bit later in the show. I'll say that. He's not here to join us live. Mr. Sully has he's got like a weekend kind of work schedule. And the only real way we could try to get him on the show to do it proper would have been to record the show like an hour before the show was supposed to come out.
And
that's not really a good way to run your schedule. So we unfortunately had to say no to that.
Yeah.
And just keep it going, right?
But he's with us.
No, but you know what? I'm
spirit.
going to be meeting up with Cam. He did a great job on the episode, and I was very excited to have him on. And that's what I have to say about that. You'll be hearing from Cam a little bit later, and it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's just it didn't work out with work schedules.
Instead of Cam, we do have some wonderful people who are joining us live in the Patreon chat room. So anyone who joins us over at patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters, free or paid, can join us live when we record these wrap-up shows. So quick shout out to William Schmidt and The Guardian, who are in the chat right now. And we'll be looking to them.
There's someone else who hasn't said anything yet. So we have another
there is a silent lurker. So we'll see who that is.
I like silent lurkers. Look, silent lurker could have been my nickname. No, I don't know where I'm going with that.
My rap name in high school. Yeah.
Thank you. There we go. There we go. I'll go with that. That's a good Modern Warfare Call of Duty tag. That's what I think.
Sure.
Douglas is here. Hey, Douglas. It's good to see you.
Cool.
Good to see you. But this was a heck of an episode. I said I can't wait to see the comment section because I really did feel like the people could really bounce any way they wanted to bounce on this one, and I'm sure would have a lot to say. And I turned out to be correct. This is one of the most responded to episodes that we've had, maybe the most responded to.
Yeah, I was honestly
we're trying
shocked.
to build this. Yeah, we're trying to build this thing from the ground up. And I was telling Sam right before we started, it looks like maybe some of the efforts are paying off. We want to interact with you guys. We want you in the show. We want you in the chat room. We want your comments. Get involved. We're here for you. Awesome. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But obviously, first, of course, Sam, we got some reviews.
Yes, we do. And eventually we'll get into revealing the poll. But before we get to that, let's start off with some reviews. It looks like this is from the show before this show. So this is from Mr. Squirrel 2099, who says, I wonder who will win. When I first heard Omni-Man versus Wonder Man, I figured that Wonder Man wouldn't have a second season, if you know what I mean. However, hearing what Wonder Man could do, I think the mixture of him draining Omni-Man, infinite stamina, and most importantly, acting skills, I had to give it to Wonder Man. Along the same line of heavyweights going at it, how about MCU Sentry versus DCU Superman? Love the show. See you next week. Hashtag more Sam's Decision song, please. Nice.
We could talk about doing the DCU Superman in a battle. MCU Sentry seems like a pretty good fight.
That's a good match.
My thing is, I don't know that we've seen enough out of DCU Superman to really work with him yet, right? Am I crazy in saying that? Like, he did plenty. I just feel like we could get a little bit more out of him before we really try to crack that nut open. And MCU Sentry, kind of the same thing. We know
Sure.
we're going to see more of Bob. We've only
Yeah.
seen him in like one movie, and he wasn't even like prominently featured in that movie until the very end, right? And I love
Right.
Thunderbolt,
Yeah,
don't get me
that's
wrong,
fair.
but maybe after Doomsday comes out, we'll have a little bit more to say about everything. I'm just not sure, but that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And of course, Sam, your decision song, everybody loves it.
It's
I've
that
heard
is
it's
a
starting to
banger.
get
It's a
airtime
hit.
in major markets. Is that true?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear it on the indie rock stations. We'll see if it gets some coverage. We'll start
That's fair.
making a B-side.
William Schmidt says the lack of definition for either character is what makes it interesting. Ooh,
That's true.
okay.
There's a lot
I
of
like
you
some
know
intrigue.
a lot of guesswork on the lack of source material, I suppose.
Doesn't that just mean you got to make stuff up?
I mean, yeah, like that's going to be, if we went with that battle, that would be a battle that is like 100%. The counterpoints would make that, like
Oh, I
that's
think
how that
so.
feels.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
You're right. William argues that the Ray is good at
Ray is
making
good
stuff
at
up. So there you go. And
Fair.
Lord Snurts is in the chat right now
Snurts,
saying
finally.
hello, Mr. Snurts. Good to see you. We have the second review. We had 2 reviews this week.
Nice.
Last week we had like what, 3, 4? I think 2 weeks from now we could have even more. That's what I'm going to say.
Let's do it.
I'm going to keep challenging you guys to keep getting me some reviews. I'd love to see it. Copyrighted issue 2, just refreshed his review for this one. And he just, I believe, joined our Patreon
That's
like,
true.
not that long ago. So hello, Copyrighted issue 2. Love to see you in there. This is one thing I will say. His title of his review is, here are some of the shows completely, and then it gets cut off because regardless of how you do it, at a certain letter point, I can't see it anymore.
Weird.
So if you type a really long name for your review, you got to also put it in the body of the text because I don't know. That's as much as Apple Podcasts would show me.
Oh,
So here are some of the shows completely ... like we're in a Final Fantasy game. We'll find out. I'm imagining these are hashtags though, because what precedes is a bunch of hashtags. So we have hashtag headphones. Great.
Okay.
Use them in public,
sure.
please.
Love it.
You know what? I was actually on my drive around today. Last night, actually, it was. I was reminded of the people who drive with headlights as bright as the sun because I got some of that behind me. It was wonderful on the freeway here in LA.
We
got hashtag Sam's decision song. People can't get away from it. Oh boy, hashtag email song.
All right,
Sam.
all right. You finally got some support on that.
There it is. Finally, hashtag Ray was right. Of course, hashtag Ray was robbed. Ray and Sam are the goats.
Thank
you. By the way, love the tournament idea. Also, he says, I swear to God, this is in the review. Also, join Patreon for free. You get to vote and it's cool and fun. Also, you can join wrap-ups at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern time.
Not always that time.
That's what it says in the review. I did not pay him to say that.
But that's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it's not every time, but it's today.
Not every time. Sometimes.
It's not even today. What am I talking about?
No,
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Thank you very much. Look, if anybody wants to use their review to shill for the show and shill for the Patreon, I am here for that.
That's great. That's just us reading out our own call for action. I love it. Should there be a hashtag Sam's Decision song shirt? I mean, would people buy it and wear that?
I don't know why there isn't. No, I'll tell you right now. We do have whowouldwinstore.com. That's a relic from the previous thing that I still own. And Sam pointed out to me like a month ago that there's a bunch of just old stuff in there that we don't need in that store anymore. And you would have thought that in the last month, especially with me bringing it up right now, that I would have done something about it. Maybe I'll do something about it this weekend. I don't know. But you can go to the whowouldwinstore.com and you can purchase like t-shirts, get it on mugs, get it on coffee mugs, whatever you want. There's a bunch of cool designs in there. I've got to clean it up. So if you see certain things in there that you know I'm going to get rid of and you want them, this may be your last chance
That's true.
to get them.
Depending
Because
on how
I
lazy
will
we
be
are.
sweeping that store very soon, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We got a Mortalverse poll, Sam
All right.
Proof.
Let's do this.
Thank you to our friends at the Mortalverse who are doing this. They have a Who Would Win Fantasy League. They do every single week, independent of us. And let me find my drum roll that doesn't work here.
Sure, of course.
Here we go.
So yeah, from the Mortalverse poll, which we have, with an overwhelming 100% of the Mortalverse viewers and voters on the non-official poll, Imhotep the Mummy. So just to do the math there, It is big old
People are
goose egg
generally
for
pretty
Sam
happy about
Fisher.
it.
It seems like, yeah, the live audience is into it. Yeah, which I would imagine 100% of the Mortalverse. So I mean, and generally, you know,
Mortalverse
it's a
doesn't tend to get it
precursor.
wrong,
It
except for
tends to
all
be a
those times they
precursor
got it wrong.
a few times. Yeah.
A few.
All right, but that is the
Just saying.
unofficial poll that
Unofficial.
that the fine people over at Mortalverse run on their Discord server. The official poll, which you can only vote
Yeah.
for on our Patreon, that's a
I'm
whole
gonna be
other
disappointed
story.
in this poll no matter what it says, Sam, because I can't do better than 100%. So I'm just gonna be
That's fair.
disappointed.
That's fair.
All right, here we
All
go.
right. All right, let's see. Drum roll, please. With 90% of the vote on the Patreon, Imhotep the Mummy, Ray.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
That is 10% for
So
Sam Fisher.
Look, he did get 10% of the vote back. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll say
there you
right
go.
now.
Lord Sturz says very close.
It was very close.
Yeah,
Honestly,
very
it was
close.
closer than it probably should have been.
Oh, well.
I'll say it out loud.
Yeah.
But that's great. So here we go. So we got
Well played.
we got a very exciting battle. Cam Sully. We'll hear his thoughts a little later in the show.
Yeah.
And officially, unofficially, and officially, and Sam's decision, Imhotep the Mummy does in fact defeat Sam Fisher. Now, I did talk a little bit about how I think there are some points, there's some angles perhaps that you could take with Sam Fisher that could have been victorious.
Yeah.
I'll share one of them. I don't want to say too much, just in case we ever have to do anything like this again. But I do believe that Sam Fisher being a stealth agent, and the fact that the mummy is never too far from the artifacts which could destroy him, right?
Sure.
We've just seen that. I think if Sam Fisher takes away the idea of a face-to-face confrontation and stays in the danger zone, if you will, so he doesn't leave the battlefield because he's going to stay sort of in the general realm. And if he was able to sort of, get away from some of the machinations of the mummy, use his drones to distract the mummy, perhaps, I think that he could find his way to the artifact that he needs in order to defeat him. Once he sees his first few shots don't really do anything and he regenerates, I do think Sam Fisher's smart enough to know that he's dealing with a supernatural creature that probably needs more than just punching in the face and shooting in the back in order to take out. So it's maybe it's more uphill than I give it credit for, but that was one of the ways that I thought of that I was trying to defend against early in that battle, because I do think that there is an argument to be made because Brendan Fraser is less talented of a hero than Sam Fisher by a lot.
Fair, yes, sure, of course.
And Brendan Fraser was able to make that move work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do think there's an argument there to do. He did, of course, have a team in plot armor, says Lord Snertz. Which is also true.
Yeah.
But, you got to work with what the stories are, right? If he can do it, I would argue that Sam Fisher could also find a way to do it. But it ended up not coming up in the battle.
Right.
So,
and also,
what ended up happening.
If he had some prep time, who knows? He's one of those guys where, I mean, this particular instance, I think that, that hurt him having no actual knowledge of the mummy would, any slight amount of knowledge would be beneficial, and an hour of prep time, maybe.
And William Schmidt argues in chat that if it's a neutral arena, there won't be magic items to hurt the mummy. I don't think I agree with that. I think the mummy comes with the means to defeat him. I do believe. Yeah,
I think that is an argument that should have been made, should have been brought up. That wasn't, because that was kind of a gray area that we didn't even really dance around, right?
No, like I say, I was ready to kind of to go for it. But we didn't end up going there. And I think that worked to my favor, quite honestly.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I think if we had made that obvious, yes, the only possible way you can defeat the mummy is this thing for the, most part, and that's going to exist, that changes a lot.
Yeah. I mean, Williams says not two combatants walking through a field or a city and then it's on. I don't know. I mean, does the mummy really, travel far away from his artifacts? It seems like the only reason he left his temple was to go get the stuff, I don't know.
That's
to me, that's where an argument can be had.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
I guarantee victory with that point. I'm saying that I think that that's a
No,
very good point to go after.
yeah, I think that does change the balance quite a bit, but, you know, maybe it's a 70-30 at that point. The poll.
Yes, Snert argues that he's in London for the second movie, but
Oh,
the
okay.
British do steal stuff from Egypt. Look, you could argue every country's
That's
been
true.
robbed and that stuff is in London. So, you know, it's all true. Yeah, he could be out. William's right. He could be out at a rave. The mummy could
That's
be.
it,
He could just be
living
out
it
at
up in
some
a
rave,
rave. Yeah.
living it up. Yeah, why not? That's what I'm saying.
I do wanna say, that, speaking of the second movie, The Mummy Returns is returning to theaters, I think it's March 25th, and it's funny, it's like the second time in the past few months where we've accidentally just kind of hit something that has been, like, in the sort of Hollywood zeitgeist, and I think that's gonna keep going. I think Hollywood is paying attention to us. So,
I think we've got our finger on the pulse, Sam
we
Proof. That's what
do,
I
we
think we got
do.
going on here. I'll say
But,
that. Well, tell you what, we're gonna do things up because we had one of our what do you call them like business people, people who tell you how to run your thing, and they said, "How come you have 2 ad breaks in the battles and only 1 ad
oh,
break and wrap up? You
oh,
guys are
well.
throwing money away by doing that." So we're gonna add a second.
And then he
You
did
know,
this motion with the
he
for
did.
money.
No, for sure. And unlike some other people's business agents, ours is going to help us and not hurt us. So we're going to go ahead and take 2 ad breaks here. We're going to
Okay.
do the first one right now, and then we're going to read a ton of comments and then do another. So that's a
Alrighty.
programming note. Get used to it. That's going to happen. So we'll be right back with all your comments right after this.
And we're back. All right, we're going to get into the comments. Ray's going to kick this one off.
I will kick this one off. Sorry. For whatever reason, I thought you were about to throw to another ad break. The way your
I think we
intonation
are.
was, I really thought you'd be like, Ray's going to kick this off right after this.
break.
Da, 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 da. I don't know. I really thought that's where you're going. I
Welcome
paused.
back,
I
and now
froze in the
this.
moment. Yes. Guys, our business manager told us 3 ad breaks would be even better. So we'll be right back at no. I'm just
All right, let's
anyway.
go.
Lord Moxford, we're going to open up with old Moxie saying Cam Sully did a fantastic job repping Sam Fisher. He made some excellent points and brought the right energy. That being said, like a Golden Corral buffet versus Ray, Cam didn't stand a chance. What does he mean by that?
Wow.
He could have won a very different battle
hang
with
on.
the exact
Who's
same
been to
points.
Golden Corral in the last 20 years? Those still exist? I think the last time I was at Golden Corral, I was 11.
I want to say I was been there in the
on.
last decade. I'll say that, but you're right.
Really?
COVID
All right.
did a number on buffet restaurants.
Yeah.
Y'all
right.
young people don't know this, but there used to be restaurants that you could just pay a certain amount of money and eat as much as you wanted of a huge variety of food, and it was awesome.
I am still
great.
very mad about the whole soup plantation going away.
That's kind of a rough name, though. I always had a hard time
Yeah,
telling
I did
people
always
I was
have,
going
but
to a
it was the
place called
best
Soup
of the
Plantation.
buffets, man, as far as LA had. All right,
That's
anyway.
fair. Anyway, yeah, Golden Corral's great. Anyway, he says Cam he could have won a very different battle with the exact same
Yes.
points.
Oh, yeah.
In this case, Imhotep is imbued with ancient magic that can only be defeated by magic. Sam just doesn't have that knowledge or acumen. I think if Cam had made the argument magic is just science we don't understand, maybe Fisher's technology might have held some more weight. Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
He says, Sam, no, not that Sam, the other Sam. No, not Sam Eagle, Sam Proof. Sam, I have to check my resources, but rumor is the FFAFO is partnering with the Seatbelt Cutter and Window Breakers Association to form the consortium of glove box contents. Hashtag Ray is right.
Good. Yeah, and you get 10% off on all their goods if you have a AAA membership. So there's that.
Well, I love it. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up from Copyrighted Issues 2, Sam is cooked. Hang on. Let me check with myself. Okay. With advanced knowledge and being able to set minds. Okay, we're talking about Sam Fisher. Sam Fisher still has very little chance of winning this battle. GG, Cam with Sam. Once again, Sam has judged correctly. Oh, good. This started out one way and ended up correctly. Thank you. Thank you, Copyrighted
It's
Issues.
tough. Are there any heroes named Ray? It'd be really weird if I repped against them
God,
I
yeah.
don't know. There's got to be somebody out there.
There's
The
gotta
Ray.
be,
There was a
right?
character called The Ray from DC Comics. I know that.
Weird.
That's something. Anyway, we got a lot of these. I'm going to move forward. Lynn Stein says, I think that Sam could win this if he handled it with stealth instead of combat, going after the Book of the Dead. There we go. That's the point I
Yeah,
was making.
exactly. Yeah.
Unfortunately, without that prior knowledge, I just can't see him taking this match. Therefore, Imhotep wins.
Yeah. All right.
And also, William Schmidt says, a very powerful character, the Ray. I mean, they based him on me, so I would hope so. Hello.
Yeah. All right. Guardian, who's with us live in the chat, which you can do from the Patreon. I left this one on
Yeah,
the
this is
the
from
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first instinct is this goes to Imhotep. If Fisher had faced supernatural threats or had the ability to fast translate text, maybe, but how do you fight swarms of scarabs and sandstorms? I'm excited to learn about Sam Fisher. Splinter Cell isn't a franchise I've dived into yet. Yeah.
It's good. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I've
mean,
played
I
a
think
ton
those are
of Splinter
accurate
Cell
points.
games, honestly. I was
Yeah,
I
I've
was into
never really
Siphon
played it.
Filter. That's what I played.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously some Metal Gear Solid. I played a lot of
Mhm.
Metal Gear Solid as well.
Nice.
Pretty good. John Shanks says, I know nothing at all about Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell, but with the neutral location / no prior knowledge caveats, how would he know how to find the Book of Amun-Ra, which is really the only way to defeat Imhotep? I think the
Yes.
Mummy has this all wrapped up. Boom.
Look at that.
Boom.
How did we not use that on the actual battle episode?
I'm really mad at myself right now.
Me
And John
too.
Shanks has done loops around me in my
Look at
knowledge.
that.
It's
Unbelievable.
in the
Well,
pun
that's,
game.
I think, time for another break, right? Oh, no. Okay. All
Let's
right.
take it. No, our business manager's saying go for it. Okay, hold on. No, why
All
don't you
right. Let's
ahead.
just keep going. Let's
go
just
to the next one.
plow through it. All right. Ken Bjorn Turner says Imhotep can only be killed by magical means. In the first movie alone, he shows he can sand form around traps, bullets, and to travel. He is basically Sandman with spells and without the water weakness. Oh, and cats. If his opponent, it will battlefield removal.
That's true.
Is that
Though, if
right?
this was
I
a
don't remember
battle of
that.
Imhotep the Mummy versus Cute Avalanche, it's a rout. Cute Avalanche takes
Look
it.
at that. Yeah. Would Thundercats work? Do those still count
I
as
don't
cats?
see how they wouldn't. No, that'd
Right.
be rough. If you put Lion-O against, oh boy, I don't even know how we even have that battle. That's too rough. That's a stomp.
Wow.
Well, Ali Low comes to us from the UK. So we have an international audience, which I definitely appreciate. Look,
Love
if
it.
you're in any country in the world other than America, and you send me a 1-minute demo, we will figure out time zones. We will figure out a way to make it work. We will absolutely have your back on this. I want to turn Who Would Win Masters into an international experience. Ali Low, the challenge is out there. And I would be excited to have anybody from any country come and do this. I'm here for you. And I'm here to defeat you around the globe.
And we can be awake some hours.
I'll be honest, most hours.
Most hours.
Yeah. Well, Ali says, I love a clash of styles, especially a bit of the old versus new. I enjoyed this battle immensely, and I think Cam did a decent job. I didn't know half as much about Sam Fisher as I did before this, but here's the way I see it. Cam made the point about the Mummy not being able to finish off the O'Connells in the movie. Admittedly, it's probably worth pointing out that it felt like they had a decent amount of plot armor in a monster movie. How this battle starts depends on what Imhotep looks like for the start of the battle. If he looks like a shambling mummy monster, I don't think Sam's going to go near him. If he looks like a tanned, shaven head Arnold Vosloo, I think Sam could be lured into a false sense of security. Lost my place. And figure out that he's just a guy. If he gets in close and tries to break his neck, he's going to have a bad time. Regarding the whole mortal weapons thing, I think that's suitably vague. We don't know if gas or electricity can be considered a mortal weapon, regardless of how it's administered. But given that Imhotep potentially has no lungs, the gas argument becomes null and void. I feel like Cam was trying to argue that Sam Fisher would kill Imhotep outright. I think there's an outside chance he could possibly incapacitate him for 2 minutes under the right circumstances, but I didn't see that as the route that he went. Cam also mentioned the Book of Amun-Ra and the Spear of Osiris, but Sam isn't going to have the knowledge of those items and what they can do. added the control over the army of the dead and the scarabs, and I think that's a lot to deal with, even with help from his drones. First encounter, no prior knowledge, no outside help. Using the argument that was given, I think Imhotep takes this. Now, if Sam had prior knowledge and prep time, I think it's a different battle. But we all know that ain't the rules of this game. Well said.
But how much prep time does he need? What's the
He wouldn't need a
what do you
ton.
think?
I mean, he would just need to know about the magic items, and then I think the
Right.
other arguments come into play.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that goes back to, you know, one of the things we're gonna do on this show in season 2 a little bit more is the situational battles, like
Love
we
it.
did with Blade versus 30 Days of Night. You know,
Love
one of
that.
the
That was so
I'm
much
gonna go
fun.
ahead and pull the curtain back.
Right.
Originally, we were trying to figure out a battle with Cam Sully, and we had a notion of what if we dropped a different character into the Die Hard movie. Nakatomi
love that.
Plaza, Hans Gruber, the terrorists, and all that. What if instead of John McClane, we had a different character in there? Would they win the Die Hard scenario? And we
Sure.
went back and forth for like a while, and we could not come up with the right answer, to the point where I went ahead and just said, let's try something else. And we ended up with Sam Fisher versus the Mummy, which was a lot of fun. But I do want to try the Die Hard scenario. So I'm just going to ask the question right now to the people.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and give us a comment. Give us a comment on
Put
this
it in the
video.
Discord.
As you
Or
see
put
it
it on the
Instagram.
video comments. Yeah.
Put it on we'll put it on Patreon, you know, whatever. I would love to hear your answer on this. Hit us up wherever you can hit us up. What character would you like to see try the Die Hard scenario? Somebody, like, if you put Batman in there, I think Batman just stomps the entire scenario right out, right? I don't think we worry about that. I'm looking for somebody that it's a question of whether they would pull through it or not. And I'm very interested to see what y'all have to say on that. So definitely comment, reach out to us, hit us up on the Patreon, the Discord, whatever. I want to hear who you want to see in the Die Hard scenario.
William Schmidt in the chat said Flash Gordon. Was that in response to this, or was that there previously? The Guardian says the Karate Kid. Snert says Dan from Street Fighter. Yeah, it's funny because I was just thinking about Flash Gordon the other day, and I was like, it's about time. I could deal with a real good reboot of that, but I don't know.
You ready for a reboot of Flash Gordon?
I am, but it would have to be different. Like, it couldn't be.
I never watched Flash Gordon.
Oh, I loved it. That was so good as a kid.
I know,
like
right?
the movie, the like 80s movie, which is just
right.
so incredibly
I know
campy.
William Schmidt's ready to burn me at the stake. He says movie night. Yeah. Snerts, yeah. Maybe we get Flash Gordon for a future movie night.
All right, yeah.
You know what we need to watch for movie night? Clash of the Titans. That's a movie we should I need to get that on DVD. That is a movie I've been wanting to revisit for a long one. Which one? There's only one version, even if there isn't.
Good answer.
We're talking old school Ray Harryhausen. Let's go. Please.
Yeah, Mechanical Owl. That's
How
the one,
dare you, Snerts? Mechanical Owl, Medusa. Oh, yeah, only that one.
That was
Burgess
so good.
Meredith. What are we doing? It's incredible.
All right, let's keep the comments going.
It's incredible.
But yeah, please tell us.
Let's do it.
In the comments, your picks who could run that at the Nakatomi Plaza. Ryan Sangalin. I hope I pronounced that even remotely accurate, Ryan. Sorry if I didn't.
New patron.
Yeah, I know, because I'm going to shout him out at the end of this wrap up. That's a new thing we're doing.
There it is.
Imhotep will definitely win.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah. Imhotep will definitely win. I don't think conventional weaponry will work. Only magic will hurt the mummy. I don't think Sam can trap him either, since he can morph into sand. Yeah. I think that's all very accurate. Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Very good.
Man, Matthew Dawson's here. Matthew Dawson's here to I feel like Matthew Dawson, in a really weird roundabout way, has gone from being one of the biggest Ray haters in Who Would Win history to all of a sudden, like, doing roasts against my opponent every single week in the comments. I love that. I love the 180 villain story that is Matthew Dawson on the Who Would Win properties. Matthew Dawson, to the point where people are doing reviews to rebut the things that Matthew Dawson says on the show.
Wow.
That's good content right there.
Love
Matthew,
that.
thank you. I appreciate you, and you know this. He says a point about how you can electrify your opponent to the point of mummification would be great against any character that wasn't the mummy. I think Cam started off in a good spot by the end of point one, but Ray really ramped up at the end of the match, and by that point, it was not a debate at all. Setting elaborate bombs to trap the mummy in its tomb has a few problems. It requires prep time, which Sam doesn't have in this scenario.
Yeah.
And two, it gives Imhotep the home field advantage, which could mess up Sam's strategy even more. At the top of the episode, Ray said he could think of a couple paths to victory for Sam Fisher. Curious if he'll share any of them on the wrap-up, because by the end of episode, I saw nearly 0 ways Sam could have taken this home. A fun time nonetheless, but I enjoy an episode where I come in knowing nothing about either property and leave feeling just a little smarter. I've laid out one of the ways. I'll save the other ones in case I need to use them in a different battle down the road. There you go.
Real quick, if he's in sand form and he gets electrocuted, does he become glass? Just a thought.
See, maybe there's an argument there. Maybe there's an argument about chemical properties.
Right. Yeah. All right.
But I very famously got a D in science in 5th grade, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
I can make a volcano, but that's where it ends. Just hydrogen, peroxide, and whatever it is. All right. Forbidden Mob says, "Oh boy, Sam, say it ain't so." Fisher has a pyramid-sized uphill battle with this one. Unfortunately, sand gets everywhere, even when the mummy sorcerer lays the smackdown. Ray was ruthless in sweet shirt swag of the day. I get it now. Ruthless and sweet shirt swag of the day. What are you
That's
wearing
tough to
today,
say,
Ray?
though, I'll say.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot. They found my one weakness: alliterations.
Is alliteration?
And English, I think, is the other part
fair.
of it. But I must say, Cam put up a decent fight. You could tell he's a big Splinter Cell fan. The man has good taste, but tech versus magic oftentimes wins. Yeah, we've seen that before as well. His first point was excellent. Sam is very well trained, super stealthy, smart, great tech, and a massive body count. But from there, things get choppy. Unfortunately, Imhotep can kill you by touch, can't be killed by mortal weapons, can close the distance with Sandstorm, and his weaknesses are unknown to Sam. The drone versus beetles thing is a wash for sure, but the electricity argument, smoke grenades, and flash aren't doing jack. Sam could win if he had prep, but unfortunately, that's not the case here. I appreciate Cam's vigor and passion. Ray, he says, "You well done, sir." As you done well, sir, I would assume.
I'll take
but
it.
That's fine either way. A very fun, thought-provoking episode. It's a slight bummer knowing my underdog Sam lost, yet feels good to be agreeing once again with the great Sam proof. So you got a Sam on your side. That's another shirt for another time. That's what really matters. LOL. Rest in peace, Wonder Man. Come back on the show soon, Cam. All right. That's a good
There
one.
you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. And he will. You'll be hearing from Cam after all these
Yes.
reviews. So you got to look forward to that. Now, William Schmidt, who's here in our chat right now, has the next comment. And he says in chat right now, since it's his comment, I'll just share it. Sam's not walking around with dozens of drones. I think the Beetle and the Army of the Dead would have a massive advantage. You know, I would think that, but then I saw that one Spider-Man movie with Mysterio, and now I don't know. Maybe drones are like the answer for everything. Maybe that's just too much to handle. Mysterio versus the Mummy.
There?
Now I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mysterio versus the Mummy. Oh boy, I honestly don't. That's crazy. Yeah, AI drones. Who knows? Who knows anymore? Sure. Anyway, William Schmidt in his comment said the rules of the match greatly benefit Imhotep as they eliminate Fisher's setup and prep time. Yep. Points related to dropping a temple at Imhotep seem moot because it's well established that Imhotep can pull a Darude and Sam's Sandstorm out because Techno lives. Yeah, I see what you did there. I can't play it for real because we'll get sued. Yes. Sam would likely get off a few good shots, maybe knock Imhotep around a little bit with his various weapons, but in the end, I'd have to say no magic and no girlfriend to distract the mummy equals no win for Fisher. So it does seem like the comments are well in line with where the votes were.
I mean, that makes sense. You would
have to
Yeah, if it went the other way, there'd be some weirdness. We'd have to demand a revote, but not today.
Yeah, Guardian argues Mysterio would be much closer, LOL. The mummy would be easily confused by holograms. And Snurt says, I agree with what Guardian says.
I think that's a good point.
As does William Schmidt. I found our rematch, everybody.
All right.
I don't know how we just stumbled upon this backwards. This is a match we got to do in a future season.
All right, there you
I
go.
like
That's
it.
why
Put it
we do
down.
these wrap-up episodes.
I mean, it
So
helps.
that,
We got to talk to the people and learn.
right on. All right,
That's true. Oh,
next up,
speaking of snurts,
yeah, Lord Snurts. This is his comment. Says Cam's spirit and energy were in the right place, but I disagree with many of his points. Sam Fisher has a limited supply of gadgets, weapons, and ammo for each mission. He doesn't have a bag of holding. Right. He's also not super accurate with guns at long distance unless he is standing still and holding his breath. Not sure how electrocution creating a mummy applies to a supernatural creature with magical powers. Why is Imhotep's temple in a neutral location? That's his home base. Wouldn't a city or jungle be more appropriate? Fair. Sam was well repped, but he doesn't have a chance in Duat, Egyptian underworld. The mummy is too powerful for one soldier, regardless if he has drone or outside military support. Yeah.
that's a good point. And William Schmidt says in
That's a
chat, it
very
really
good
depends
point.
on the player, how good the aim is and
Yeah.
how good the shot is. I've made that argument before that when I play these guys, you can't do anything. Look, I was on Xbox Game Pass, and I tried a game called Sniper Elite. I want to say it was like Sniper Elite Resistance or Sniper Elite 4. It was one of the more recent ones. It was on there. And the game just dropped me in, didn't give me any tutorial of any kind, didn't give me any instructions of any kind. And I spent like 5 to 10 minutes on this like tower, not knowing where I was supposed to go, what I was supposed to do. There was no obvious mission. So I just tried shooting people who were very, very far away and missed every single shot. And then I quit. Bad job, makers of Sniper Elite.
Wow.
I couldn't even conceptualize what you wanted me to do in that scenario. What a dumb way to start your game. I say that as an industry professional, but I say it with love. I want to help you.
That's true.
But not right now. I'm already working.
Yeah, the one thing that Snurts brought up about the neutral location, first, I do feel like Imhotep's temple being there was kind of a pro and a con. Like, it would have housed those items that Sam Fisher would have needed to defeat the mummy. So potentially it being there is a benefit, but also obviously not. Possibly in future episodes, we should declare the neutral location at the top of the episode before moving on. So that
I mean, I've
kinda,
always, you know what? I've always, Sam, and I'm gonna turn this right back to you as you point the finger out. There's 4 coming back
Sure.
inwards.
Hey man,
I've always believed in these types of battles and scenarios, it is up to the judge to determine what that neutral location is
that's
to
fair.
set the stage for themselves.
All right.
And if they have an idea in mind, they should elocute that sometime in the first part of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and we've definitely alluded to, I definitely, if you listen to the intros, which our guests don't usually hear, I do allude to different locations.
It's
When
true.
we did Wonder Man and Omni Man, it was very clear we wanted it in space or at least in the atmosphere. But yeah, we can make that more part of the format. Or we could even just do a randomizer at the beginning, and every single time it's going to either be in space or a volcano. So there you go.
I don't like that at all. We're gonna have a production conversation
No,
after
we don't
this.
like that. All right. Well, we'll let the
It's
people
not my
vote.
favorite.
There's a new poll
But
coming
anyway,
to
yeah,
Patreon,
it really
maybe.
is up to you, Sam, as judge, to if you
All right.
have a place that you have in mind. I think go ahead and let us know kind of what you're
Fair
feeling,
enough.
and we can work around those parameters. I
Sure.
think that's a really smart
All
way
right.
to go.
Love it.
Eric Hiding says this was a good back and forth battle. There are a few things to point out. I like the Beatles and the drone argument, but I also think they cancel each other out. And if one of them
Yeah.
existed and the other didn't, then that side would have an advantage. The Beatles and drones will take care of each other. The guns won't work on the mummy. We see this a lot in the movies, and Sam will start with the guns. And after those don't work, I could see him using bombs. Overall, the sleeping and stun bombs won't work, but I could see the freezing bombs working, but for how long? They will stop him for a bit, but the mummy will break out. Same with getting electrocuted. It'll stun him, but he'll bounce back. Sam won't be able to set up traps, not enough time, but the mummy could use the sand and other spells. The only thing Sam has advantage is the fact that Rick O'Connor, Brendan Fraser, for those of us that didn't know, defeated him. Rick had no powers, and the time frame didn't help him with technology, so Sam does have a shot. However, overall, the mummy could win with what he has at his disposal. Sam is going to need all those napkins from fast food drive-thrus to wipe up what's left of him. Good thing they give out a lot of them. It's a fair
All right,
point.
can I just say that first off, none of you see how this is written, and he actually spelled Beatles the other way, and I had a thought, and then immediately William Schmidt wrote out my thought in the chat, which says, I think Ringo would take out all of the drones with a drum solo, which is almost exactly what I envisioned, and it was specifically Ringo. And I was like, so weird. So get out of my head.
Oh, man.
But
he knows too much. We told you that guy was good.
wow.
We got a couple more reviews to go.
All right, let's get it going here. We got a quick one from our good friend Delvin Cox on Instagram. Says, I can't trust a man that wears sunglasses in their house. He immediately lost based off of that.
There you go. For those of you who only know the audio version of the episode, Cam Sully showed up indoors at night wearing a pair of sunglasses. So if you have certain opinions on that, that should, much like Delvin Cox clearly does, that would affect your decision.
Apparently.
And the very final word of the entire battle comes from Cam Sully himself, who posted the comment, inaccurate. That's it. That's the entire comment. It says inaccurate. I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to.
I think he's referring to Delvin. I think he's straight out just talking about Delvin. Not even his comment, just Delvin.
Just Delvin is generally speaking inaccurate. I mean, that's a very fair point. Dear Lord. All right. Well, those are all your comments. And here's the deal. This is a ton of comments. I loved reading them. I know Sam did too. Yeah. We love it when you guys get involved. I can't say it enough times. We try to offer you a million different ways that you can interact with the show. You just got to step forward and do it. So if you have big thoughts about a battle, or you think a debater or myself, probably not though, messed up in one of their points and maybe like self-owned at a certain point, or maybe something wasn't said on the show that you wish had been, but maybe got missing for time. These are all things that you can comment about, and we love to read it all. We want you involved with the show. And our second ad break is going to start right now.
All right, we're back, and it's time for our third ad break. We'll be right back. No, we're not doing that now? Okay.
I kind of want one now that you're doing it, but no, we're not going to do that to the people.
Oh, no. But it is time to move on from comments, and we'll get into, I think we have some email.
We have some email. We have another email from Luke here, one of our favorite fans of the show. He loves to email the show every week. And okay, I'm just telling you right now, try the email song one more time all the way through. And I think this is the time that you are going to really fall in love with it.
That's
not it.
Not it at all.
I swear to God, I changed.
While Ray plays with the soundboard, William Schmidt asks, there's an email address? There is. We do have who'dwinmasters@gmail.com.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah.
Hey, check this out.
From the community, reading emails is our destiny. You've got a voice, you got something to say, and we're gonna read them, 'cause it's annoying to read. Now it's time to end this song before it gets to be way too long to do anymore. Just prolong this intro, which would be wrong. It's Who Would Win Masters. Email time. It's Who Would Win Masters. Email time.
Obviously, that's the one that pushed it over for everybody.
Yeah, I'm starting to see it because, like William said, I have enough time to go hit the restroom. I think he's right. That could be why I like the song now.
Guardian
digs
says,
it.
I dig it.
All right.
Thank you, Guardian. See, I knew somebody in this chat would have my back. We just converted a new person to the email song full length. And I'm excited to continue to play the full version as the people clearly demand it based on these comments alone.
All right. All right.
Anyway, Luke is back with us again, and Luke says, "Dear Ray and Sam, I've just started to re-listen to Titans Rise for the third time since New Year's now. That's on the Mortalverse network. It's just as fun as I remember, and I've just finished the Batman Beyond episode of Mortalverse. Hey, I'm in that. It's rock solid. It's on par with DC high volume Batman, either A rank or S rank. I would recommend both of them to pretty much anyone. I would very much think it would be even better if Mortalverse had more Batman-centric stories. Boy, I agree on that. Bringing it from an overall A rank to an overall S rank. Hey, oh yes, I play Batman in the Mortalverse, by the way, everybody. I think, and you know what? I love my take on it. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm a mark for myself. Who cares? Anyway, he says, Ray, your voice for Batman sounds a little bit like J.K. Simmons. Not that that's a bad thing. It just adds a type of humor that I think us Spider-Man fans would notice. P.S. I won't be making a 20-minute rant video like you joked about earlier this week, Ray. I don't really think that's necessary. I'm not really one of the guys to do that. That comment last time, like I said before, was with malice behind it. Wait a minute. I think he means was not with malice behind it.
Right.
Because Luke is a gentle soul. But as written, as we cut and pasted this over,
this could be the end of this beautiful relationship.
That comment last time, like
week.
I said before, was with malice behind it. So either he has decided to go full villain origin story and go super aggro on us, or he just forgot the word not, which as an ADHD myself happens all the time, and I understand that.
I think we're about to get a big email back from Luke that is very apologetic. You misunderstood me. It was not with malice. It's okay.
But I mean, I said was with malice behind it. I don't know.
I hope not. An email back one way or the other.
I hope we keep the show nice and fun and friendly. But hey, that's what it says. I only read the words as they come to me, Sam Proof.
Yeah.
We also, and maybe you could do this because Sam, you're the Discord master. I'm not tons of trying to get on Discord when I can. It's not like part of my normal internet regimen. So I kind of got to go out of my way to go on it. But that being said, I do go on it and I do read and I try to comment back to people. But we have a whole section in the Discord of giving us battle suggestions, which I think is pretty cool. And I've got 4 picked out here from the Discord that maybe we could have a little bit of conversation about and talk to the people about.
Definitely. Yeah. If you go to our Discord, which you can find the link from the Patreon, it's a pinned message, you will find
get on that for free.
Yeah, that's free. You'll find a channel called Post a Battle where you can literally post a battle. You could put a 1v1, you could do a 1v team, you could make a gauntlet, any of the things that you used to do on kind of the Facebook page, put it over there. Other people can weigh in on it. So yeah, we have a bunch of stuff that people have posted. I don't know, this is like a new section now. Are we doing a thing? We don't have a theme song for this?
I'd like to turn this into a new thing. Yeah, maybe we need a new song for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, don't tell me that. We'll make that happen. Fiverr, here we go.
Are we just gonna go through this list, or are we gonna?
Yeah, so we got 4 suggestions here. I just thought give a few shout outs. Let's give a brief little talk about a couple of battles here. That's fun.
Yeah. So Matthew Dawson has suggested Godzilla vs. Thor.
Thought that was really interesting.
I think that's really
because
interesting.
On my head, I'm like, obviously Godzilla, but I do remember in the comics that the Thing flipped Godzilla over. Am I crazy? That's a real thing that happened.
Is that a thing that happened? Wow. So this is just going to be, is this an argument that can be won by like Thor just puts his hammer on Godzilla's tail and he can't move?
I don't know.
I think that might be the whole battle. I've seen a lot of that recently. Yeah.
Like I say, Guardian here says it like I would. I want to go Godzilla, but maybe Thor takes it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I honestly do not know. Because lightning and thunder wouldn't really affect Thor.
Sure. I like it because Monarch Legacy of Monsters is coming out like in a week. So that's a good thing. I had also just put a post up to be like, who could tag team Godzilla and Kong? So if anyone has other thoughts of opponents, find that post.
Obviously, Thor and the Ray.
Right.
That's a big win.
Good to see him coming out again. Yeah.
It's a big win. Let's get the Ray on the show. I think only me and William Schmidt remember the Ray. I bought issue number 1 back when it was in stores back in like the 90s or early 2000s, whatever that was. And I probably still have it here somewhere. And I only
sure
bought it because it was called The Ray. I don't think I've even read
you
it.
didn't dream this?
No, that's a
Is
real
he a
DC
Stingray
Comics.
guy? Is that what it is?
No, he kind of looks like Nova, honestly, if I remember correctly, or like a more modern version of the Rocketeer. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
William's got to have my back and just explain this to me. He would know more than I would. That's my very limited knowledge. And somebody who knows the character very well is very mad at me right now. I have a strong feeling. Oh, apparently he was also on Legends of Tomorrow. How about that?
Oh, really?
That's a show I absolutely should have watched.
Yeah, I watched a few episodes of that. I may have even watched a full season of that, and by the second season, I dropped off on it. Like, it was okay to start, and then at some point, it just lost it for me.
Interesting.
But maybe I'll go back on
We'll
it.
give it a shot.
Or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Yeah, next battle. Go on.
I'll do the next battle. We got Matthew Dawson again. Matthew Dawson had a lot of battles, so I just picked 2. Cool. This one is deeply personal. It's Scorpion versus Samurai Jack. Okay. I know Matthew Dawson is a big Samurai Jack fan, almost as much as he is Sonic the Hedgehog. And so, yeah, Scorpion for Mortal Kombat versus Samurai Jack. I don't know. I would love to take Scorpion in a battle against Samurai Jack. Why do I think that's a season 3 Matthew Dawson battle for him to come back on the show? Maybe we just put a little pin in that one.
Yeah, I like it. I like the thought of it. I don't know a lot about Samurai Jack. But William Schmidt says Samurai Jack all the way. Get over here. No, get away.
Yeah. You don't want him that close to you, Scorpion. I'll say that.
Yeah. All right. The next one we have is from Guardian, who says Tifa versus Gambit. And yeah, he's in chat. Tifa versus Gambit. All right.
Tifa versus Gambit. See, I would want to say Gambit, but I played Final Fantasy VII, and Tifa has access to some next level abilities.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar.
I would take Tifa in that battle. I don't know that I would win it, but I think that I would have, depending on how hard I went, I feel like I could do Gambit. I don't know. That's real interesting.
I'd love to see a Gambit show. That would be fun. For sure.
Well, Gambit was the #1 most requested person, so we will see Gambit on this season somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be Tifa, but that's super fascinating.
All right.
Our last battle, Bjorn the Viking.
Yeah.
Bjorn the Viking says, Dinobots versus He Wants to Know Who.
Sure.
So I'm asking the chat right now. Chat, people at home, who would you like to see the Dinobots face on this show? I haven't put a lot of thought into it. We've considered Grimlock, I'll say right now, for an episode already, and ended up not going that direction. Dinobots versus who? So we're going to do an entire team. Let's limit it to 5 Dinobots.
I was going to say, maybe how many? Yeah.
Do they create a big monster? I honestly don't know the answer to that. If they do, it's whatever number of them. Oh my God, Snert says, let's do the Russian Guardians. Okay. You know what? Let's bring the Russian Guardians, one of my favorite movies of all time, onto Who Would Win Masters. Isn't it about time? Or do I get, let me ask this question, Sam Proof. Would I get an all-star team of Ray's favorite characters? So we would get, NFL Super Pro, Captain Carrot, Sid 6.7 from Virtuosity. Do I get to make a little all-star team of my favorite all-time heroic and villainous characters to fight the Dinobots? I don't know. I mean, maybe I just take the Guardians. Maybe that is the answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll be honest. Now I'm super excited for this battle, and all it took was that. William says, maybe the Young Justice. William Schmidt also suggested the Dinobots versus the U.S. women's hockey team. But I'll tell you right now, William, nobody's beating the U.S. women's hockey team. That is a force of nature. Are you kidding me? Did they put 20 goals on some other poor team in international competition? That is outrageous.
Yeah.
They are top tier. I'll tell you that right now. That is dominance.
Yeah. They're fantastic. I'd love to have them on the show, one way or the other, as an actual debater or as a theoretical team.
Could we bring on the entire U.S. women's Olympic hockey team as a debater?
As one.
Yeah, there's like 9 of them, and each one gets 1 minute, and then 3 more get the 3 rebuttals. I mean, I'm saying, let's go.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
I'm here to take on the whole team. I would get steamrollered in that matchup. They would destroy me. Anyway, we got to the next to final segment, or the penultimate segment of the show. Yeah. It's what are we watching? What are we watching? First up, I want to make a quick plug for the people in chat. We're going to do movie night right after this. I have some wonderful suggestions here. I have pulled out 5 choices for the people to pick from. I will not be going live with it right now. We will talk about it once we start. For the people that are in chat right now, I believe it's the same link for both. So once we end this recording, just stay where you are. And then in a few minutes after that, I will start up the next thing, which is the movie night. So just hang out where you don't have to do anything at all. I believe just stay where you are and then you're good. So there we go.
You should
I
be
will
able to
say
pull a Delvin Cox.
pull a Delvin Cox and just hang out in the
Just
lobby
sneak in.
and then just sneak in. Yeah, I got to do something about that. I would say right now, this is full biased. I am going to be one of the most biased people in the country, but I just finished rewatching for who knows how many times.
Okay.
Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, which are 2 of the greatest movies of all time, made by exceptionally talented people. And my wife is probably even a bigger MCU fan than I am, and I am a massive fan. But she watches them like just round the clock. She just is always, that's her comfort movies. And I think that's awesome. And I highly support it. But like we just finished watching both of those kind of in the last few days, like an hour at a time as we went, and just finished Endgame a couple hours before we started recording this. And it's just fresh in my mind. And God dang it, is that movie awesome? How do you have a movie that has 10 years of other movies, like 18 or 19 other movies, and then pay off every single one of them perfectly and have the ending make sense, have it be rewarding, make good choices on every single step of the way? Just, I am blown away by those 2 movies. And again, please understand, this is coming from the heaviest bias that possibly could be. But dear Lord, I do love those movies.
Nice. Well, my I always like to start off with our family night movie, and this almost ties into that, kinda. We watched the original first 2 X-Men movies, and I gotta tell you, man, like I love those. I've always enjoyed those, but that friggin' Nightcrawler intro scene is just like by far one of my top 10 best intros to a movie ever. It's just so great. And that's really all I have to say about that. If you haven't seen those already, it's 20 friggin' years. Go watch this.
Yes, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Well, I'll tell you, I've been talking some video games. How about that?
Yeah.
So I got 3 right here because I asked for some suggestions of horror slop last week. And I believe William Schmidt came through, Matthew Dawson came through. I played a game called Iron Lung. Iron Lung, ladies and gentlemen. Iron Lung is a indie game from a few years ago that Markiplier, the streamer, YouTuber, just made a movie.
Right.
He just made a movie about it, which I didn't even realize was a movie. I just thought it was a game. And so I played Iron Lung as a game where you are a convict sealed into a submarine on the moon in a river, in an ocean of blood.
Ew.
You have no windows. You cannot see outside of the submarine. You're just given a map and coordinates, and you have to move around to points of interest and take pictures for the people who put you in there. The game is about a 1 hour long, low fidelity, single A indie game. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. There's really not much gameplay there, but as an hour-long experience, I did have a good time with it. I actually played it right after we did the last wrap-up a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. I think
I went right off to the computer and did that.
That sounds like just the right amount of gameplay with that concept, because,
Absolutely. So then I also played 2 others. I played a game called Indigo Park, which is free on Steam right now. You can check it out. It's another 1 hour indie horror experience, very much in the nature of Poppy Playtime, the Huggy Wuggy game, in that you're breaking into an abandoned like amusement park, and so you have mascot horror, you have creatures of the characters of the cartoon characters, and they're trying to kill you, and you have a couple big set pieces, and then it's over, and they're working on part 2 right now. So Indigo Park, if you played the Huggy Wuggy game and you want to play something more like that's another like hour-long experience, give it a go. And then the last one is called Bendy and the Ink Machine, which I think is there's a little bit more polish to that one. Bendy and the Ink Machine is it has a visual style of like old-timey cartoons. It's a first-person horror game where you walk around trying to solve pretty basic puzzles, do some pretty basic combat, while being chased around by these old-timey cartoon characters that have been horrifically brought to life and want to kill you.
Okay.
So that
Very
was
cool.
nice. It was a nice little game. I haven't finished that one yet. I believe there's 5 chapters and I've done like 3 of them. So I'll
Okay.
probably finish that relatively soon. But look, indie horror experiences for video games. Give me more. Go to our Discord, hit me up with any of the Instagram posts. I don't care. I want to play them. I am interested.
Cool. I had a chance to watch finally Predator Badlands, which
Ooh, is
has
that
Elle
good?
Fanning. So yeah, I didn't know a whole hell of a lot going into it.
Yeah.
Um, it has Elle Fanning playing these sort of dual roles where she's like the good guy and the bad guy, which is you know kind of awesome. Like she's really turned into just an amazing actress.
That's
Um,
awesome.
the one thing I have to say about it is that this is not a Netflix generation movie where you can be doing other things because there's a good 30-40 minutes at the begin and the whole movie really like she's traveling with a predator named Deck and he just talks in that I can't remember
Predator
what they're called.
speak.
Yeah, predator speak.
Wow.
Ajati. I can't remember what their race is called, but yeah, it's like
What
90%
do you
of the
mean?
movie
They're
is
called predators, Sam. What do
it's
you even
not that
mean?
they have a
I've
language
seen
or
Alien
a
versus
name.
Predator where the woman
They're the
turns to her and
predator.
goes, "Come on, Predator, let's get out of here."
Anyway, but yes, it is heavily a closed captioned movie, so you will need to do some reading. So that better be something you're ready for. The cool thing about it, and I hope this doesn't spoil too much, is that the big bad, the trophy that Predator is there for, he's on this world that is essentially like a gauntlet that predators run so that they can get honor by killing this creature called the Callisk that has a near instant and a very intense regeneration ability.
Wow.
The Yanti. Yes, that is.
The
Thank you, William.
Yautja? The
Yautja. Yeah,
Yamcha?
you're right. Yautja. God, I heard it said out loud and then I read it and I was like, my God, I can't. The Yautja. That is right. But yeah, so like the Callisk, and I just put this on the post battle thread on our Discord. I would love to see some thoughts on what would make a good opponent on a show for the Callisk because this thing is probably more regenerative than Wolverine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair. I got one more thing to talk about. I just I've been trying to get more buying more physical media just as the way the world is going. I kind of think
Nice.
that's probably a smart thing to do.
Love
And I
it.
found a really good deal on a show I've been meaning to give a really good hard look at. Did I know that this show was like 180 episodes? No, I did not. Now, it's not One Piece by any stretch
Wow.
of the imagination, but it is a lot of episodes more than I thought it was going to be. And that would be Hogan's Heroes. Hear
Nice.
me out, everybody. I
Oh, I love
really
that.
liked this show a lot. When I was a kid, I was really into kind of World War II material, but I still
Yep.
ended up somehow okay. I don't understand how that happened.
That's fair.
But
I
yes,
used to
it's
love the
got
show
Colonel
too.
Klink,
Yeah.
Sergeant Schultz.
Hogan!
You young people who don't know about this show, I'm about to blow your mind because here's the deal. Hogan's Heroes is a comedy. It is a
Yeah.
sitcom set in a German concentration camp during World War II. Yeah. And all of your Hogan's Heroes, you have Colonel Hogan, who's an American, and then you got a bunch of Allied soldiers who are also in the concentration camp. And the idea behind it is that they still work for the resistance during the war, and they constantly they basically run the prison even though they are the prisoners because
Yeah.
they are able to sweet talk and bamboozle and outsmart all of the people who run the camp. And so they have all these ways to escape when they need to and go on missions and come back. And the whole thing is no joke. It's a sitcom. And I've been
Yeah.
fascinated by this show for a very long time. And and so I'm going to try to start watching it. I don't know if I'm going to, someday maybe I'll get through 176 episodes or whatever it is. But
Jeez.
it is quite an undertaking out the gate.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like a majority of my like very young childhood was Hogan's Heroes and MASH, and somehow I came out okay. So it's all good. Everything's
Apparently,
great.
Sylvester Stallone and Pelé, the soccer player, made a more serious version of that show called Escape to Victory. That doesn't sound fun at all.
That sounds awful.
To be
Good
honest, yeah,
God.
you got like a Richard Dawson, who was the original one of the original
Wow.
Family Feud
Yeah.
hosts,
Yeah, that's right.
is on that show, Hogan's Heroes. Yeah, it really is like it's amazing that show was ever made. I'll say that, and it did well so well. It had what is that, like 7 seasons basically?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the fact that
Dear
it
Lord.
lasted as long as it did is a testament to how good that show was.
Yeah, Richard
Yeah,
Dawson of The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's right.
yeah, that's right.
Love
The
that.
last thing I have, since I threw out Predator Badlands and asked people to do a lot of reading, so that you don't have to do any paying attention to the show that you want. So I watched two things. One was The Hunting Party, which, in spite of the fact that they say the pit a million times, is not the pit, is a very basic, like, we have to, catch a bunch of serial killers kind of, cop procedural type show, which is entertaining enough. It's not amazing, but if you just need something to watch as background noise, there you go. But then we also started watching Boots on, I think it's Netflix, which
Boots?
is, yeah, takes place in the 80s. And
They had Boots in the 80s. That makes sense.
they did have Boots. And it is about a homosexual who joins the Marines and goes through boot camp at the
Oh, that's
time.
cool.
It is the time before.
That would be a rough time for somebody to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's before Don't Ask, Don't Tell and any kind of acceptance. So it's intense, but it's not like super in your face intense. It's a worth a watch. It's definitely worth a
Sounds
watch.
dramatic. It really does.
Yeah, a little bit,
Yeah.
but not heavy, Full Metal Jacket intense. It's somewhere before. It's a
Well,
little bit before
That's
that.
an intense movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, we're about out of here, everybody. I've got one more piece of business to do.
Let's do it.
The next
Yeah.
battle. The next battle. Do you guys want to know about the next battle? Because I
Yes.
do. We're going to be doing, oh, this is very exciting. We've got another video game character. We have a battle of super soldiers and spies. We have James Bond 007. He's pretty big. He's a pretty big deal, pretty popular.
Yeah, I think people like him.
Versus Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid video game series. Our special guest debater. I believe this is a what do you call it when it's all the Bond movie characters? When it's
An
oh my gosh.
amalgamation.
Yeah, there's a special word for it, and I am completely blanking on it in this moment, and I use it all the time, and I am very frustrated at my brain right now.
It's the version of Bond that has been shaken, not stirred together.
That's it. So it's gonna be
Yeah, there you go. That's a technical term.
there it is. What Sam said. It's gonna be James Bond versus Solid Snake. Yeah, it's the compilation character. I don't know. There's
There you go. Yeah,
used
that's
it
what
when we did
Guardians
the
said,
Samuel L.
compilation.
Jackson battle with every movie character of Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Composite. That's what it is. It's composite
Yeah.
James Bond
Okay.
versus Solid Snake. Composite Solid Snake.
All right.
Our special guest debater will be, you heard his comment on the show earlier, Ollie Lowe, all the way from jolly old England, the UK.
Our official UK representative. So he
Who
better
Would
know.
Win Masters International Edition starts now.
Look
And
at that.
again, if you are from out of the United States, I will vault you to the front of the line. If you send in your 1-minute video demo of any character, just show us that you could do it. Send it to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. Sam will talk about that in just a moment. I'm going to tell you right now, James Bond, Solid Snake, a very interesting battle of two very similar characters, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And Ollie Lowe will be joining us, and I'm very excited for this. So, Sam, any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, we get to check the UK off of our list, so it's right there. My
Mark
cat
that
has
down.
some stuff to say. That's good.
Now, that's not to take Scotland, Ireland, and Wales and anything else I'm not remembering off the list. Just because
That's
we've
fair.
had
They
somebody from England doesn't mean the entire
Not
UK
the entire
is
UK.
off the board.
I misspoke.
There's
which is- that's new for me.
there's a Brexit of sorts when it comes to the Who Would Win Masters show. We will Brexit to add those other countries in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was just taking the bigger chunk. I could have just said that's our first European country, and there you go. Now we can just get smaller and smaller.
I'll take it.
Let's close this out. But before we close it out, I am excited to add this new segment to the show. At the end of our wrap-up episodes, we're going to shout out our Patreon members, both new supporters and a rotating group of our paid members who help keep this whole arena standing. We're just over 40 members right now, and I'd love to see us push past that 50 member milestone. So, whatever you're doing after this thing where you're listening to the podcast, please head over to patreon.com and sign up as a free or paid member. Patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters, and you can be a part of what comes next, which is also literally what comes next. So a huge welcome to our newest Patreon members. We got Lind S., Ryan S., Copyrighted Issues 2, Max True, Chosen, GGS1212, and James W. And a big thank you to some of the incredible people supporting the show right now. Dylan G., Matthew Dawson, William Schmidt, Douglas R., Nate, Eric Hiding, Lord Moxford, Forbidden Mob, Lord Snurts, and Delvin Cox, of course. We will see you next time. We appreciate you. We're closing the book on this battle, but the debate rolls on. Jump into the Who Would Win Masters Discord and let us know who you think really walked away with it, because that's where your takes help shape what comes next. Patreon is where the official poll lives, but Discord is the community headquarters. And if you think you've got what it takes to step into the challenger's chair, record a 1-minute video demo, send it to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. And who knows, maybe we'll see you across the seat from Ray next time. Next week, we're back with a brand new battle. You heard it today. And for Who Would Win Masters, this is Sam Proof. Stay strong and goodbye, Mailbox.